Gali Baller is a second-year PhD student in the Department of Biomedical Engineering at Northwestern University. He received his Bachelor's of Material Science Engineering from Cornell in 2008. His interests span a full range of medical innovations, and we've just spent a few minutes talking about something I want him to design for me in the operating room. I suspect it will take about 15 minutes to do, but in any case. He's going to talk about the project that he and his team put together, Novo Air, smoking cessation in pregnant women and their spouses. Gali? Everybody hear me? Well, good morning, everyone. In the Novo Air business plan, we describe a program which is designed to reduce smoking rates among pregnancy-linked smokers in China. We chose China because, well, 5 of the 6 members of my team were Chinese, so we already had a contact, a thing in common with China. And also, the prevalence of smoking in China is extremely high. Approximately 350 million people in China smoke. This is larger than the entire population of the United States. If we break down this pie into particular segments of society that we can focus on, we see that if we identify pregnancy-linked smokers, they form about 3.25% of the entire population that smoke in China. These pregnancy-linked smokers are particularly motivated to reduce their smoking rates and use, because the smoking that they use, the cigarettes that they use, can affect the fetus during pregnancy. And this group can be divided into 2 subgroups: mothers, which number approximately 356,000, and fathers, which are approximately 11 million smokers. And this is reflected by the smoking rate among males in China, which is around 60%.
Mike, is not working.
Yeah, I'll just speak louder.
Okay.
So the fathers are around 11 million, number 11 million smokers in China who are associated with pregnancy. And these fathers are the primary source of environmental tobacco smoke, or ETS, which affects the welfare of the mother and the child as well. The current treatment programs available in China are inadequate in treating this particular segment of society. And it's also worth noting that this population is renewed annually, so every year we have new pregnancies and a new population that we can target to use in our program. Some of the ETS-related health concerns associated with smoking are listed here. We have premature delivery, low birth weight, asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, ear infections, and sudden infant death. And with the parents, we have productivity losses and disease morbidity. These are just some of the costs associated with smoking in this particular target population. So in response, we designed the Quit Smoking Club. This is broken up into 2 periods, customized to the pregnancy-linked smoking population. There is a period in the prenatal phase and also in the postnatal period. In the prenatal period, we will conduct an initial assessment of nicotine addiction. We will conduct Tiger Strong tests on the Minnesota scale and use measured exhaled carbon dioxide to evaluate the level of addiction in our patients. And then we will introduce them to our program and use a virtual reality trial session to evaluate whether they would be comfortable in our program. Before I continue, I'd like to explain what this virtual reality therapy is. Virtual reality, or VR therapy, is a state-of-the-art cessation therapy, which has been used in clinics to reduce anxiety disorders and also in nicotine addiction and other therapeutic measures. The particular program that we use was developed by the Groupe de Recherche d'Aide Psychosociale, or GRAP, in Montreal, Canada. This group has worked with over 4,000 smokers over the last couple of years and have developed a program which we think is pretty interesting and novel in treating smoking addiction. What this program does is it immerses a patient in a virtual 3D environment where they are tasked with locating and crushing 60 virtual cigarettes. This is based on the game engine Unreal 2, and they wear a goggle visor and submerge themselves and run around with a virtual arm crushing cigarettes. Patients have expressed feelings of waging war on cigarettes and also have relived experience after the therapy sessions are concluded. Behaviors have also changed as a result of these sessions. So smokers, instead of tapping cigarettes lightly on ashtrays, they notice that they're crushing them into the ashtrays. This last Tuesday, a publication was presented in the Journal of Psychotherapy, and it's the conclusion of a 3-month study where 91 patients were treated with this virtual reality therapy. And it resulted in statistically improved outcomes on smoking cessation across the board on measures of nicotine addiction. The rate of abstinence went up from 20 to 40% at the 6-month follow-up. And also improved retention rates for patients in the program. So patients who stay with the program longer, stay with the smoking cessation program longer once they were treated with a virtual reality type therapy. So it's also found that this type of VR therapy is most effective on motivated participants, which is exactly the population we're targeting with the pregnancy and smokers. These units are also pretty cheap. They are around $2,000 each, so we can use them in a sustainable model and expand them into the marketplace in China. So after this introduction, we will develop a customized treatment plan for each pregnancy and smoking family. Afterwards, we will treat with a multi-pronged approach, combining VR therapies with other smoking cessation therapies to maximize the efficacy of our treatment program. At the psychological level, we treat with virtual reality and doctor consultations. At the physiological level, we will provide nicotine patches and fitness program which will replace the activity of smoking. And at the social level, with a support group where patients can interact with each other and discuss their smoking cessation therapy. At the postnatal period, after the pregnancy, we will follow up with patients by conducting initial nicotine addiction assessments, phone and house calls, emails, and surveys. This slide nicely illustrates the problems with using a Mac computer when you develop your presentation on a PC. So we plan to implement our program in a pilot stage in Shanghai. We chose Shanghai because of its high population density. And in this way, we will be able to reach out to many patients with a single clinic. In this pilot stage, we will use the feedback from the postnatal period of our graduated participants to improve and refine our model and choose the best practices so we can disseminate the program into other cities such as Beijing in the 3rd and 5th year, and then in the 5th year to Shenyang, Tianjin, Qingdao, and Guangzhou. These 6 cities were selected because they are the 6 cities of the 2008 Olympic Games. And each of the governments in these cities have made a promise to improve the healthcare of their inhabitants. And we believe that the political atmosphere in these cities would be conducive to the implementation of a program such as ours. Going along with this model, we've also predicted the 5-year financial projections. And we estimate we will require an initial capital seed funding of $1.5 billion to purchase equipment, operating space in Shanghai in our pilot program, hire technicians and clinicians, and also begin our marketing and advertising strategies, which are outlined in the plan. In this 5-year model, we expand to additional clinics in the 3rd and 5th year. And you can see at the end of the 2nd year, we begin to turn a sustainable profit, which will expand out to the 5th year and beyond.